Hello? Am I late? Sorry. I didn't mean to be. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Weekly Sip. What's going on, guys? Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I gotta refresh the chat. Mmm. Ah. How's it going, everyone? What's up? I should probably share. Wait, there's an insert ad button on YouTube now. This is new, at least for me. If I click this, does it run an ad? Here, let's test it. Tell me if an ad runs, okay? Because in the meantime, I'm gonna set up a I'm gonna like tweet this out and put it on the social media. So here, let's run an ad and see what happens. I'm gonna click it in 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see if it works. So let me copy. Hey, I changed the thumbnail on this. What is this bullshit? I changed the thumbnail already. I have a new thumbnail. Wait, where's my new thumbnail? Uh-oh. Did I like accidentally delete my thumbnail? I did. Fuck. Nope, nope, nope. It played. I guess most people are ad blocking. That's fine. No money for dev. Oh well. Here, let me copy. Honestly, I'm gonna stop worrying about the thumbnails because I'm probably gonna get like a new thumbnail situation set up for the Weekly Sip. Here, let me go to all the social medias: Twitter, Facebook, Minds, Gab, Parlor. That new one, Getter. I don't have an account there yet. Is it still closed, Getter? Weekly Sip is now post video. Okay. I can't see the chat at the moment. Let me just quickly post all these links. I am like starting to run out of anime girls drinking stuff. There's only so many pictures of that, right? But I did have a new one. It's just eventually I will run out of them. But then again, if I make like an overlay template, I can just reuse all the old ones again, at least for a while. Okay, is that all the social medias? Yes, yes, yes. Facebook, Twitter. There we go. Okay, there we are. Did Parlor ever make an actual comeback? I'm not sure. Kinda. Recycle them. Just take all the anime girls and stuff them into the recycling machine. Turn them into new anime girls. Use the Shinji mug meme. So everyone have their coffee? What's going on? I will 100% read the super chats at the end of the stream, okay? So thank you very much, guys. Oh. So, what is news? What's going on? Well, I can tell you a few things. Firstly, is that I've been sick the past few days. Naomi brought home a sickness on like Thursday ish. We started getting it Friday. Naomi's not sick anymore, pretty much. I'm now pretty much done being sick. Dave, however, Dave is just drowning in his own filth currently, and he has been for like 4 days. We were supposed to do like a Subnautica stream on Friday night, and we were all just like, no, None of us can fucking move. None of us can fucking move. It was actually pretty rough that first day. But I'm good now. Um, in terms of in terms of next week's streams, it honestly depends on how Dave feels, because Dave's immune system is like fucking shot. It's like dead and gone. So he gets sick and he takes like 5 years to recover. So if there are going to be new streams, it'll probably be like Mass Effect Monday or something, you know? Yiz, if that's real, you should probably DM me the links, DM me sources of that on Discord, and I will look at it later, okay? But I am going to look into it. But anyway. Oh, Zenchang has VTuber debut? That's good. So the plan kind of is, at this point, is that we're hoping Dave will be better by Tuesday. So the Game Boomers schedule is going to be like Mass Effect Monday. We'll continue with Skyward Sword on Tuesday, maybe some Dragon Ball on Wednesday. I don't quite know what's going on for Thursday, and Friday will be Subnautica. NBC News is getting called out for gloating about an anti-vaxxer getting sick. Safety, DM me that too. Send me them DMs. I'm not going to be a VTuber. Fuck that. Fuck that. My Twitch stream is all about us being on a couch, not us being VTubers, and we're going to continue being couch gamers. I have not heard about the Subnautica co-op mod, but that sounds cool as fuck. Make sure to DM it to me, Yiz. I'm going to lose it in this chat. Please lay off the tinfoil. Oh god, there's so much tinfoil going around nowadays. It's actually kind of funny sometimes. Yeah, hold on a second. Typhoid Naomi. Typhoid Naomi, dude. Oh, everyone like those sips? Everyone like those sips? It's time. Everyone sit with me. Hey, Aiden. What's up? I just woke up, guys. I literally rolled out of bed. I was like, yeah, it's time to do the thing. So that's what's going on with Game Boomers for the next week. That's the stream schedule. Make sure you're there, because at this point, because of Dave losing his job, Game Boomers is what keeps him afloat. So all you guys are helping out quite a bit. Shit, what else is going on? Oh yeah, Skaven RP at 3. That's gonna be fine. Oh, I'm working on a new video. And I think you guys are gonna like it. It's gonna be a short one, but it's gonna be, I think, a dense one. And I plan for that to come out tomorrow. Oh yeah. So there was actually some drama over on Game Boomers last Thursday. There's like a bunch of PS5s got in stock locally here in my city, and it's a pretty quiet place. So we figured we could get one. Fucking instantly sold out. Jesus. Riddle of Lightning, hey man. I haven't seen you in a long time. What's going on? Instantly fucking sold out though. Yeah, GH, yeah. Oh yes. Oh, another thing. The channel, the Skaven RP is on Arch's channel. And yes, I need to also point out SFO Minecraft server. Okay, that is what part of your donations goes towards keeping up. Lots of people play on it. There's been a lot of builds. People who play on the Minecraft server regularly like to keep saying, "Dev, shell the server, shell the server." So, if you play Minecraft, come join us. I intend to do maybe in the next month or two, another community stream on there. And I think that's. I'm not gonna buy a Steam Deck. Fuck that. I already have like an incredible gaming PC, so I'm good. The shortage is so bad that cars have increased in price. Cars? Oh, like because they have computer chips in them, eh? Can we just get like a dumb car? Oh, that's right. I had to change the fucking Minecraft server's IP because we had a power outage here actually, and so the IP reset. I have no idea how to get a static IP. I have no clue how this stuff works. So here, let me get the new IP from Discord. I'll plug it in the chat. Where? Oh, I guess the last thing to announce while I'm getting the IP. People have been asking me to talk to Destiny a lot, and that's something that might actually happen. I don't quite know when, but he and I have been talking about it. I don't completely understand what the big deal is because I think he and I agree on a lot of things. But generally, like a lot of people, and especially in his server or in his community, are like, "You need to talk to Destiny because you're an alt-right Nazi." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." And I think after we talk, it'll be pretty clear that I'm not. So that should be good. I'll change the channel description. Let me put it in the Discord. Here is the Minecraft server IP. I have no idea how to set up like a URL for that. It doesn't change whenever whenever my home server goes down. Look up how to static IP. Maybe I should. But there's the IP. If you want to play on the Minecraft server, go ahead. It's even if you don't donate, it's open to everyone. So go ahead, have fun. Destiny is based now. Watch this chat with Sargon. It was good. Yeah, it was. I've actually I've watched a fair bit of not all of Destiny, but I watched a fair bit of Destiny in the past almost year or so. The Minecraft server is 1.16.5. Yeah. Destiny is a leftist still grounded in reality. Dev is a social liberal. I mean, the thing is, Destiny is a social democrat. Okay? And to regular people, a social democrat is like a center leftist, a capitalist who wants social safety nets, very, very normal position to hold. However, to socialists, social democracy is what they call social fascism, which is just incredibly ridiculous. So, the socialist point of view has socialism, fascism, and then social fascism, and that's it. And social fascism is everything that is not overt fascism or socialism. It's a fucking insane way, a fucking insane way of looking at the world. Like, let me just see here. I've talked about this a bit in previous videos, but you have like, if you just look up social fascism on Wikipedia, you can get like a devist liberal. Yeah, see, Yiz, that's the rightist in you talking, okay? Man, I feel like people on the far left and the far right are using different language. So, here's a good example, okay? So, if you were to pull out one of Hobbes' books, okay, I think it's called A Theory of Capitalism and Socialism, and you read what he writes. He outlines that in his definition, socialism just means what a regular person would call collectivism, okay? He's like, okay, well, government is socialism and socialism is socialism, but also corporations are socialism. And it's like, okay, well, what you're talking about is actually collectivism, not socialism. But he uses the term socialism to refer to it. Now, if you were to talk to somebody on the far left, they're like, capitalism is everything that's not socialism. And they do say this. And they say fascism is everything that's not socialism. And neither of these neither of these points of view are fully correct. And they're talking at each other with different language and not understanding each other. It's kind of ridiculous to watch because like a leftist will read Mussolini and he'll be like, and Mussolini will say something like, fascism is rightly called corporatism. And then the leftist will think, oh my God, all these corporations, that's fascism. Well, the fascists have a different meaning for the word corporatism and corporation than the liberals do. Because these people don't actually think through their fucking ideas. But anyway, yeah, I've talked about social fascism a little bit in a few recent videos. I'll probably do a full video on it because it's a ridiculous, stupid fucking idea. Basically, the idea of social fascism is because social democracy alleviates the concerns of the working class without it leading to a violent proletariat revolution, it enables fascism. Making things better for the working class is fascism. It's so stupid. It's so fucking dumb. It's incredibly, like monumentally one of the dumbest things the left has ever come up with. Okay, shall we move on to some actual content and not just me derping around on the internet? Let's see here. So, if you want to support the channel, you can join the $5 club. That costs a $5 recurring donation through any of the 4 sources listed on the screen: the Patreon, the Subscribestar, the YouTube memberships button, or the sub button on my gaming channel. If you decide to give $100 to my PayPal and then send me the receipt, or send like the mods the receipt, we'll put you in the $5 club for life. If you want to send me packages that I will open on stream, there is the P.O. box. And generally when I have like a half dozen packages or so, I'll take a moment out of the weekly sip and I'll open up some packages and then we'll talk about them. Yeah, it's because they're idiots, William Devane. Yeah. Aren't we just derping around on the internet? Yeah, kind of, eh? Kind of. So I think that's all the news happening in my little community here. I'm sick but better. RP at 3 p.m. That's in about 5 hours. Game Boomer schedule next week. Make sure you tune in every night. Twitch.tv/GameBoomers. And Minecraft server. New video tomorrow. Impending talk with Destiny, possibly. I think that's the whole thing. Let's see what news we have to talk about today. Okay? And yes, here's the thing. People have mentioned that the news is sometimes like old news. The thing about the old news is that it's usually from videos. Like I had it in the topic of a video, but I couldn't actually use it for that video, if that makes sense. So for example, I did a video about being anonymous. Here, I'll just bring in the news articles. Is this it? Yes. So, I did a video about being anonymous. And this is an article from July 14th, 2020 that I wanted to use in that video, but it just didn't fit properly. But it's still worth talking about, so we're going to talk about it here on the Weekly Sip. Covering up the camera could damage your laptop. Don't let them spy on you. Make sure to cover that shit up. Don't listen to this. Fucking cover that shit up, all right? Oh god, I recall there was a school that actually for some reason had the funding to give all their students like a laptop for 8 months, and they had to give it back, right? And the teachers would occasionally spy on the students in their own homes. So 2 students got into trouble because they had sex privately in like one of their rooms, like off campus, off school hours on the weekend. These two high school students hooked up, and they got in trouble at school because uh um teachers watched them through the webcam. And Another one got in trouble because he put black tape over top of his camera, so that they couldn't be seen. Fucking ridiculous, dude. But anyway, cover up the camera could damage your laptop, guys. Don't do it. Apparently, it could break your display. Consumers should rely on the green camera indicator light adjacent to their laptop camera. Putting a sticker, a post-it note, or other covering in front of the camera itself impedes the tightly designed computer's ability to close and could shatter the screen. Fuck you. How's that? Fuck you. One MacBook Pro owner's internal display broke after he applied a webcam cover. Okay, well, was it a post-it note, though? Because post-it notes are pretty fucking thin, guys. The screens on MacBooks are legitimately that bad. Covering them up has to actually cause them to break. Fucking hell. This was years ago, so I'm not sure. It was like 3 years ago or something. If you close your Mac notebook with the camera cover installed, you might damage your display because the clearance between the display and the keyboard is designed to very tight tolerances. Okay, fair enough, but still, fuck you. The thing is, if the green light isn't on, your camera isn't either. That's not fully trustworthy, is it? Like, do you know what I'm doing when I'm not using a camera here in the house? I unplug it. Like, I have a camera hooked up to this computer when I want to, like, show me opening up the packages, right? But when I'm not using it, I unplug it because just in case, all right? Or like I'll close the shutter on it. Like the Game Boomers camera, okay? The Game Boomers camera is 100% not able to be streamed to the internet without it being turned on. Like it's a standalone camera. It's not like a webcam. It's an actual real camera. But when I'm not using it, I close the shutter. It's called. Nothing beats like physical impossibility in these things, if that makes any sense, right? Nothing beats. You can say like, oh well, the drivers aren't turned on, or you can say, oh well, the light's not turned on. But like, if it's unplugged, it's not working, and it's as simple as that, right? Anyway, this nonsense, guys, cover your cameras. In my opinion, that's what you should do. The Xbox Connect is always on. Yeah, that's true, but the Xbox is always off in my house. Okay, hold on. Eccentric Ripper, that's actually not completely true. There was like a weird strain of ethnic nationalism among the Soviets because the Russians believed that they had become like a superior race because they reached socialism first. And therefore it was like their job to guide other countries into it. At the end of the day, it's all the same bullshit. What's next? Modern porn education is totally unprepared for modern porn. Courses to train young people to be ethical consumers of porn have a hugely complex task ahead of them. Where are these courses being taught? I mean, I do hope it's not like grade school, maybe high school, but even then, it's like, I don't know about that. Like, to be honest though, all of us remember being teenagers. All of us remember going on the internet and whacking off to porn on the internet. So don't pretend like 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds don't do this shit. They obviously do. But still, this is a bit odd, isn't it? Earlier this year, Manhattan's prestigious Dalton School bid farewell to Justine Ang Fonte, its then Director of Health and Wellness, who had guided the Academy's sex education for years. What school is this? Dalton School. That is in Manhattan, so yeah, this one. What school is this? Children's University School. Private school, a private prep school. So it is for people who are not yet. Yeah, highest grade is 12th grade. It is for people who are not yet 18. All right. All right, dude. Fucking hell. Become cumcoomers. So yeah, the Sears catalog, wanking it to the Sears catalog. Okay. Let's see. In her 9 years of teaching porn literacy courses at the high school, she had always felt her work was well received. Exposure to porn is an almost guaranteed fact of adolescent life, thanks to the rise of smart devices and the internet. And yet, Fonte told me some parents may not be ready for the actual truth to their role in addressing it, in the reality of what their child is actually seeing. It's not a Playboy magazine anymore. Yeah, I mean, fair enough, right? Like, when I was really young, you could not get online porn. It was like all nudie mags. I mean, I was like extremely young, right? Like, I wouldn't, I was too young to even be interested in it. By the time I got old enough to be interested in porn, the early internet was widely available, and so you could like hop on like an early file sharing site like Kazaa or something, or LimeWire, one of those old ones, and you could download a whole bunch of porn. Let's see here. So it's not a Playboy magazine anymore. It's Bodies in Motion, amplifying certain beauty standards that are harmful, amplifying lack of protection in certain cases, void of emotional intimacy, and because race is a genre, amplifying racist sexual violences. Her goal is to give teenagers the tools to navigate their personal and social spaces through these three adjectives. Their world should be safe, should be fulfilling, and should be pleasurable. All right. And of course, they want feminist inflected porn sold at prices intended to supply decent wages. That's their solution. Oh god, can you imagine being forced to watch feminist porn and it's like the most unattractive shit ever? Thank you for the $20 super chat. I will remind everybody, I plan to read all the super chats at the end of the stream, but thank you very much for your support, guys. So, it turns out that the kids were not titillated, but annoyed by the class. Everyone was texting each other, "What the hell is this? It's so stupid. Everyone knows about porn." dude, nobody cares about your propaganda. In porn, race is definitely a genre. You can get like, blacked.com shit or whatever. So, why skip an advanced placement class with a test on the horizon just to hear a spiel about porn, consent, and gender? Fair enough, right? Like, let's say that you're gunning to go to a high class university. Why would you take the bird class? I don't know if you guys still call it bird classes. Showing my boomerness here. Why would you guys take the easy class based on porn than, say, an essential class that you need to get into the school of your choice? Why would you? Why? All right. And of course, for the parents' concerns, why spend the proceeds of their hefty tuition checks on woke proselytizing about gender, sexuality, race, and the rest, when porn is more of a vice to be contained than a habit to be cultivated? Yeah, fair enough, right? I mean, I'm not strictly anti-porn, but it's very clear like you can get addicted to porn. You can like destroy your life by like fapping too much. There's so many things you could do here to like ruin things. Let's continue. Dismissing porn literacy as progressive evangelizing suggests an enormous misapprehension of the problem itself. Many digital natives who pride themselves in a certain kind of NUI likely far underestimate exactly how difficult it is to be an ethical user of pornography, or even to begin to judge how to be such a person, given the dark, circuitous routes porn travels before it arrives as a thumbnail on a streaming site. And, well, what you can do, and people laugh about OnlyFans, people laugh about, like, solo content creators, but you can literally just do that, right? Like, if there's a girl who's charging a few bucks on OnlyFans and she's completely doing her own stuff, she has, in effect, seized the means of her production. Well, you can all honestly just pay her. Like, there you go, problem solved, right? Rather than, because fair enough. There's a lot of abuse that happens in mainstream porn. Fair enough, but somebody who makes the porn themselves and uploads it themselves and treats it like a YouTube channel on Pornhub, who just makes their own content, it's probably fine. Does that make sense? It's probably fine. I mean, like, in terms of the ethics of how it was created. Okay, so here we go. The risk isn't that their children may be exposed to something dirty or politically incorrect, but that their children may well be exposed to things that are brutal, cruel, vicious, even criminal, the sort of material that law enforcement agents carefully train themselves to encounter, all without a sense of how to distinguish the authentically violent from that which only masquerades as such. And of course, this person thinks that the porn preparation course needs more funding, more time, and more resources just to fully demonstrate just how onerous ethical porn use really is. All right. And this is a very long article about a whole bunch of nonsense. Like, here, check this out. You got innocent teenage girls are used and exploited, crying teen, passed out teen, very young South American, junior high school student, anal crying teen, and I'm 14. Um, I know that Pornhub has a problem with CP sometimes, but often, like, if there's a video with one of these titles and it's been up for maybe not I'm 14, we'll take that one out of the fucking equation, but like the rest of them, if these videos are up and they're up for like 5-10 years on the site and they haven't been taken down yet, you know what it probably is? It's probably role play, and role play, though sometimes weird, is completely fine. These people are like, they're strangely prudish. They're trying to be like these sex positive feminists, but at the end of the day, they're just like prudes, and they're trying to like walk a weird line where they're like both at once. I don't know about that, but anyway, this is a very long, very boring article of this woman's opinions um on why there should be, properly feminist porn taught in the university, and I'm just like, or sorry, at school rather. I don't know. You know what? You know what's gonna happen? Let's say this person gets her wish, right? Let's say this person gets her wish, and a whole bunch of porn is taken off the internet and it's replaced with only ethically responsible progressive porn. You know what's gonna happen? Overseas countries will keep making the porn they're gonna make, especially Japan. Independent artists will keep making the porn they're gonna make, and like independent performers and people who draw porn, people who animate porn, people who like do 3D animations of them, people who make porn games, people who make porn manga or porn hentai, people who make their own porn. They will keep doing the stuff, even if they will keep doing what they want to do, even if it doesn't meet the progressive standard. Simple as that. All right. Let's move on though, because I'm kind of depressed now. Oh yeah, check this out. 11-year-old in custody after a joyride in a school bus. An 11-year-old has been arrested after allegedly stealing a school bus and taking it for a joyride. Police say the young boy took the bus from Progress Head Start, I think that's a school, in the 300 block of Elmer Street. The Baton Rouge Police Department says the bus belongs to a private owner who subcontracts with the school. The bus is a push to start. Somebody videoed the chase on her cell phone. She was not expecting such a young person to zoom past her. As he got closer and closer, I saw it's a little boy in there, and he was giggling on the way across Florida. He was giggling on the way across Florida as he goes right past me. I'm like, I can't believe it's a little boy. The juvenile was handcuffed after being taken off the bus. I'm thinking, what in the world is going on? And my first thought is that it was a lot of kids in the bus. Thank goodness he was okay, but it was not your typical Sunday afternoon occurrence. So the 11-year-old was charged with theft of a motor vehicle, aggravated flight, 3 counts of aggravated damage to property, and aggravated assault. Okay, I mean, fair enough. He stole a bus. Like, it's a big deal. I do recall seeing somebody tweet. It's not in this article, but somebody tweeted that he did it just for fun. And it's like, all right, this 11-year-old, he's a fucking baller, dude. Okay. Murders are up. Crime is not. Thanks, Vox. I can't wait for you to fucking go bankrupt. Look at this. Look at this. Always ad block. Always ad block Vox. Okay? The US is in its most violent period in the 21st century. There are some things we know and others we don't. Last year, the US saw the biggest increase in the murder rate in decades. I wonder if it had to do with any of those protests going on. The estimated total number of homicides rose to levels not seen since the late 1990s, even as the overall crime rate declined. So far, the spike has continued. Murders are up nearly 15% so far this year compared to the same period last year, based on data from U.S. cities. That's what we know. What we don't really know yet is why. The rise in murders, along with the rise in shootings, is reflected not just in the statistics, but in real events. Over the weekend, the sound of gunfire sent baseball players and fans into a panic at the National Stadium in Washington, D.C. The night before, D.C.'s mayor condemned a drive-by shooting that killed a 6-year-old. Man, I've seen a lot of honk. Okay, hold on, I can honk for you. I've seen a lot of videos now of like regular people walking down the street, and then somebody shows up behind him and like sucker punches them in the back of the head, kicks the shit out of them, and steals all their stuff and runs. All right, and it's like, fuck, dude. I'm sure some of it is like, some of it might actually be economic deprivation, because things are kind of getting bad for a lot of people out there. Some of it could actually just straight up be radicalization. I definitely think that's part of it. You got like racial activists who are trying to divide and conquer. Like there's a lot of shit that could be happening. I mean, honestly, it's probably all of them, frankly. It's called Chicago. Year-to-year fluctuations in violence and crime can and do happen, but the size of the murder spike has led to broader national attention. The increase is now part of an ideological proxy war, leading to conflicting opinions even within political parties on what to do about the increase in murders. And plenty of finger pointing over whether the pandemic, protests over police, or guns are to blame. Well, pandemic, possibly. No one has liked having their fucking lives destroyed over the past year and a half. All right, protests over police, again, possibly. All these things are probably coming together at once. It's probably a lot of these things, man. So one guy thinks that there's higher levels of lead in the environment because that caused higher crime and violence from the 1960s to the 1990s. Maybe they are putting shit in the water to make the frogs gay. There's a constellation of things going on that make it extraordinarily difficult to be able to pin down a specific explanation, says an economist at Barnard College. Okay. The increase in murder seems to be a uniquely American phenomenon. While murder rates rose in some developed countries last year, like Canada and Germany, the increases are far below the double-digit spikes America is seeing. That is noticeable because the United States already has a higher baseline of murders after controlling for population. So, I'm thinking about it. For tomorrow's video, I looked into the rise of Mussolini, because it will be relevant in tomorrow's video. The rise of Mussolini, and just how much street violence the fascists inflicted on that country in order to basically desensitize the common person to street violence. How many killings there were, and how many like just attacks there were of both regular people and political opponents. And the goal ultimately seemed to be to not turn the average person into a fascist, though that definitely happened quite a bit, but to take the average person and just make them indifferent to the violence. And then, after all this violence happened and people expected Mussolini to be held to account, he basically walked into the Italian parliament, swinging some big dick energy, walked up to the podium, he held out his hands and he said, "Yeah, I did it. I did all of it. Fuck you." And then he became dictator. So, I don't want to get too hyperbolic. It's not my style. But there's definitely been a slow boiling of the frog regarding political violence over the past 5 years. And people are becoming more desensitized to it. And I think that's a major problem, and I think we know where that leads. Damn, dude. And the problem is, unlike with Mussolini, it's coming from both sides this time. There are absolutely rightoids who commit political violence, but there are also absolutely leftoids who do it too. There are people who are like, Antifa and BLM don't kill anybody. They just shut the fuck up. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. All right, Jesus. Okay. Anyway, they're like, we don't know what caused. They said basically here that they don't know what's causing it. And yeah, there's probably a multitude of factors, but I don't like where that ends. So let's not. Let's not. Didn't Croat do a video on fascist Italy and street violence? And he also left the links to the books that he used, and those are actually good books. They are recommended to read. So, the good news is that there's a lot more agreement among experts about how to bring down the spike than there is about what caused it. But the best evidence suggests stopping murders in the short term will require more and better, though not necessarily more aggressive, policing. Yeah. Defund the police. Oh shit, there's more violence. Fuck. Maybe we're idiots. Better policing is a controversial proposal on the left. I know people don't want to hear this and empathize with that, but at least as far as the research evidence goes, for short-term responses to increases in homicides, the evidence is strongest for the police-based solutions. Yes, society always needs police. Anarchists are stupid. All anarchists are stupid. I don't care if they're leftist anarchists, rightist anarchists, whatever. You always need a state. That's how it is. You are a dumb utopian ideologue if you're an anarchist. Period. I remember back in the good old days when Spencer got punched and you, Sargon, and V all warned us that this path should not be walked. Surprise. Yes. Absolutely. Of course. Absolutely, dude. We were fucking right. So last year was clearly the most violent year of the 21st century so far. In 2020, murders rose by an estimated 25%. Here's the graph. You got like peace basically up until 2020. This is when, like here, in the 90s. I know what happened here. This is the murder rate, okay? And then at this point, this is when all the people that would have grown up to be criminals that were being born in like the 70s had gotten aborted. And so all those people were suddenly absent from society and crime went down. Murders went down, all their crimes went down. The 90s were like this era of, even the 2000s were like this era of peace. Because primarily because of abortion, I think. Then you hit 2020 and now there's a spike. And I think a lot of that is due to just like ideological unrest, ideological conditioning, defund the police bullshit wherever that's been tried. The pandemic making everybody on edge because no one likes to be locked up. So it's a bunch of factors happening here. Jeez, I'm almost done my coffee already. We've barely started the news. Here, I'll just finish up. Hold on. You're saying I'm a statist? Yes, and based. Coffee's done. Okay, increase in murders in each U.S. region. Midwest had the highest increase. West, second highest. Northeast and South. South had the lowest. You know, it could be poverty related, considering that the Midwest is literally crumbling into nothingness right now. SFO coming out with a criminal shouldn't have been born. I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm simply describing what the numbers show. I'm not like placing a moral value on what happened. I'm simply describing what happened. Okay. So in any case, we don't know what's going on with murder. Could be related to the pandemic. Could be related to other things. We still don't know the causes. Here's Vox's idea of what's happening. COVID-19 pandemic, which is what I thought. Police protests. The U.S. protests over police brutality. Again, possible. America's gun problem. No. And frankly, let me put it this way. I'm going to give the hottest, probably most right-leaning take I have here. If simply owning legal guns, all right, legally owning guns, having whatever license you need to have for them, if simply the possibility of legal gun ownership exists in a country, if simply that possibility existing means that gun violence goes up, it's still worth it. It's still worth it. Because not everything's about safety. Not everything is about everybody living for fucking ever. Sometimes you need to have an armed populace, and sometimes you need to be able to oppose the government when necessary. When necessary, okay? That's a big fucking if, all right? But when necessary. And if that means that you get a few more like dumb fuck rednecks who like shoot each other over complete fucking nonsense, then that is the bullet that you have to fucking bite. And I don't like it, but that's just the practical reality of the world. Since when is dev based? I've always been like this. In Minecraft. In Minecraft. Ah. Did I say armored? Oops. I mean, armored's good too. I remember seeing a video of like a medieval style breastplate and how it stopped some guns. Like, damn, dude. So we have solutions here. The best research for controlling crime and violence quickly indicates that the police must play a role. This doesn't have to mean punitive practices like stop and frisk or arrests over low-level offenses, but there's strong evidence that more police lead to fewer homicides. Yep. And solid research backs strategies like hotspot policing and problem-oriented policing. Watch people on the left suddenly come out against the experts and the data and the science. However, that being said, I did see a video today where like a dude, it was a black guy who got pulled over by a black policeman actually. So it's not necessarily it was like a white thing. It was a black dude who got pulled over by a black policeman, and he pulls his phone out and starts recording him, and he catches this black policeman throwing a bag of drugs into his back seat. He catches him doing it on camera, and he's like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "Well, you have some drugs there." It's like, "No, you just put them in there." Like, holy fuck. Fucking outrageous, dude. So, anyway, they have to the left has to basically admit that yes, police work sometimes. That's just how it is. I think I'll actually use this article in a future thing on policing, but for now, let's move on. Woman accused of impersonating a prosecutor and dropping the criminal charges against herself. Look at this face. Can I click on that? Look at this like master genius face. She's like, "Heh, I did it." That's awesome, dude. I don't have the video on me. I close. I'll go back and find it again. I know where to get it, but I'll use it next time. Okay. A Littleton woman allegedly impersonated a Hillsborough County prosecutor when she filed bogus documents with court officials declaring that the drug possession and stalking case against her had been dropped. Lisa Landon, of 33 of Railroad Street, Littleton, faces 1 charge of false impersonation and 6 charges of falsifying physical evidence. The indictments allege that Landon submitted the fake documents in 3 different court cases last November and December. In several instances, she used the New Hampshire court system's electronic system to file documents. In November, Hillsborough County prosecutors became suspicious when they heard from a state forensic examiner who had been scheduled to perform a competency evaluation on Landon. The examiner saw a notice in Landon's court file that prosecutors had dropped charges. The examiner wanted to know if the examination should go forward. The file purported to contain a drop the charges filed by the assistant county attorney Patrice Cassian, but it quickly became evident to the state that the document, as well as other documents in the file, had been filed fraudulently. Dude, it's pretty awesome. So she also filed an order falsifying a decision of retired Supreme Court Judge Gillian Ambramson to waive filing fees in a lawsuit she brought against the county. And she also filed an order on behalf of a relative to halt a guardianship proceeding involving Landon's child. And of course, she has stalking and meth charges. Okay, so this person obviously is kind of fucked up. But you got to have respect for somebody who has the balls to try this sort of thing. Yeah, what's next? Right-handed man almost masturbates to death. Let's close this. This fellow redefined mind-blowing sex after he suffered a life-threatening stroke while repeatedly masturbating. The 51-year-old right-handed man from Japan admittedly enjoyed pleasuring himself several times a day. However, one explosive self-love session went awry when, after climaxing, the serial stroker was struck down by thunderclap headaches and severe vomiting. Unnerved by the symptoms, the man rushed himself to the hospital, where he was found to have low blood pressure and confusion, two telltale signs of a cerebrovascular accident. Emergency medical technicians suspected he had a stroke while stroking, and a subsequent CT scan confirmed the man had indeed suffered a stroke, a potentially fatal type of stroke, sparked by ruptured blood vessels in the space surrounding the brain. Prior case studies have reported that sex, including the autoerotic variety, was the immediate preceding activity before a ruptured aneurysm in up to 14% of patients. The risk of death by sex-induced stroke can be compounded by taking cocaine or Viagra. The man survived his near-fatal orgasm and was released from the hospital within 2 weeks in excellent condition. So this apparently causes death in 40% of cases. And 2/3 of survivors are left with serious neurological deficients. Deficients? What the fuck is this word? Whatever, okay. This isn't the first time that someone has suffered a vascular mishap during an act of self-gratification. In 2016, a Bronx hospital worker allegedly died of a heart attack while masturbating to porn at work. Fucking hell, dude. Jesus. Imagine jacking it so hard that you die. Mom attack. Incest mom, 34, stripped her son, who was 12, and raped him on their bed before warning him not to tell as he accepted it. Jesus Christ, look at this fucking woman. Look at this fucking monster. A mom allegedly stripped her 12-year-old son and raped him on their bed, but she warned him not to tell anybody because he accepted it. Texas mom Brittany Rouleau, 34, was charged with aggravated sexual assault after the boy she said attacked him in the Wichita Falls home in 2018. Charged with aggravated sexual assault. The 6th grader alleged that the incident happened after Rouleau started asking about masturbation while she was getting undressed. He told cops he had just gotten out of the shower and was sitting on their bed they shared a bed. Jesus. When his mother came in and began to take off her clothes, Rouleau allegedly told the boy to strip before raping him. Jesus, I'm burping up a storm here for some reason. Rouleau allegedly told the boy to strip naked before raping him on the bed and telling him to go clean himself up. The boy slept on the couch and told his mom that what happened felt wrong. How could the patriarchy do this? Christ. Well, you can get in trouble because you accepted it, was her response. She is then accused of instructing him, don't tell anyone. The boy opened up about the alleged ordeal to his guardian 2 years later, who brought the matter to the police. He repeated the allegations at Patsy's House Child Advocacy Center, and Rouleau was later arrested. She initially denied having forced intercourse with her son before allegedly confessing to the crime. She also indicated that she admitted it to a neighbor that she had slept with her son about 2 years ago. She's being held on a $100,000 bond. Damn, dude. Fucking hell. That's... Wow. What kind of fucking human do you have to be? Wood chipper purrs in the distance. Yeah. Fuck, dude. Fuck. Alright. Jackass director... The Jackass director, Bam, ordered to stay away for 3 years. Okay, so they're making Jackass 4. I honestly never thought that they would ever make Jackass 4 because, you know, Ryan Dunn is dead, everyone's old, no one can do stunts the way they used to. And Bam, despite being, Bam started the Jackass series basically being like a skater twink, and now he is a fucking addicted, shambling horror. All right, he's a fucking mess. And because he is such a mess, Steve-O got sober. Knoxville, I think, is sober. A lot of the guys who were involved in that in the production, they're all sober now. But Bam can't stay sober. So he was not invited back for Jackass 4. And he decided to basically attack the director over how Jackass destroyed his life and how the director owes him money and how dare he not be part of Jackass 4 and etc. etc. Well, I mean, his best friend died, right? Like when Ryan Dunn died, Bam was fucked. Okay? Bam Margera won't be anywhere near a Jackass filmed set anytime soon because he now has to stay away from its director, Jeff Tremaine, for a very long time. Jeff, who claims that Bam has recently threatened his life, was granted a restraining order on Tuesday, and it requires Bam to keep at least 100 yards away from Jeff for the next 3 years. He is not allowed to contact Jeff in any way. Ditto for the director's wife and kids. So I think we can actually read the text if you want. Let's click on this and see what we got. Yeah, here we go. Figured you wouldn't answer, you greedy fatso. Look how many times I ask you something, you don't respond. This is why people go fucking nuts. So never ever say you care about me because it's bull. You owe me a lot of money, Jeff. So all you have to do is figure out how much till we both agree. I have a lot to say to you on that one, Jeff. You are the fucking reason I ever am batshit crazy. Do not ever tell anyone that you care. You are such a far fucking pussy who has created his own terrible karma. Keep it up, fat boy, and I will continue. Then he sends him a photo of manic scribblings that apparently have threats in them. You can't see it here though. All right, this is his apparently Bam's contract. This some of these scribblings as well. Sign the fucking contract or your life will change. There it is, the contract. They are fucking dead. Apparently, like, stabbed in the back. Tremaine stabs people in the back and then uses and abandons them. They are fucking dead in the dirt with a single punch. Tremaine is a fat pussy who killed Eric, and Knoxville is going to watch his premiere with a deformed face as he still fucks my friend's girlfriend. This one is next, you greedy two-house beach. Pussy, don't have a pen. Sign your fucking death waiver you made me sign, you fucking... There's probably the N-word, I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna kill you in one motherfucking punch. Be brave for once in your pussy life. Who collects everything from everyone, you heresy hypocrite. Alright. It is a fucking threat from the bottom of my heart. They killed me. I'm still alive, Chris. Think about that as hard as fuck. Tell them to re-look at their children. They have killed me, and I am back with a 100% of Bam. That's like a Bam emoji. Knoxville has to keep his dick in his fucking pants before a motorcycle lands on it. Whoa. Dude. And whoever he's texting here, or no, this actually looks like Twitter or something. No, it's iMessage, okay. But whoever he's talking to here is like, when you tell them to look at their kids, they could be taken the wrong way, like in a threatening way. They're like, Bam, fucking cool it, Bam, like Christ. But apparently he didn't cool it. He went after fucking everyone, okay? TMZ broke the story. Jeff sought protection from his one-time pal after Bam recently went on a fuming rant against Tremaine and Johnny Knoxville. He was sending him increasingly disturbed messages, threatened his children, and made a comment that Tremaine and Knoxville can pencil in their death certificate. He feared for his family and his own personal safety, so he filed off the restraining order. So, Jackass 4 is happening. Bam has basically destroyed himself. He couldn't stay sober. He couldn't stop using all the drugs and drinking all the alcohol. He couldn't stop being a fucking wreck, and so he's off of Jackass 4. Now, I love Jackass 4. Sorry, I love Jackass, right? Naomi didn't know what Jackass was, and I think Dom had only seen one of the movies. So the four of us sat down, me, Dave, Naomi, and Dom, and we watched all three Jackass movies. And we had a great time. They were fucking ridiculous, hilarious. And I was like, you know what? You can't make Jackass anymore. They're too edgy. People would be losing their shit. Like they're constantly using slurs and they're playing pranks. It was the epitome of like the 90s era, 2000s era humor, where you could be just edgy and irreverent. And you can't do that anymore. Too many people are too sensitive, you know? But they're making Jackass 4, so good for them. Good for them. But Bam is no longer part of it. And that's a shame because actually in Jackass 1, Bam was probably the best part. Oh well. You gotta show them the CKY DVDs? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. American faces prison over a bad TripAdvisor review of a resort in Thailand. Holy fuck. Don't leave a bad review online, guys. An American has been sued by an island resort in Thailand over a negative TripAdvisor review and could face up to 2 years in prison if found guilty. Domestic tourism is still happening in Thailand, where coronavirus numbers are relatively low, with locals and expats heading to near-empty resorts. But a recent visit to the Sea View Resort landed Wesley Barnes in trouble after he wrote unflattering online reviews about his holiday. The Sea View Resort owner filed a complaint that the defendant had posted unfair reviews on his hotel on the TripAdvisor website. He said Barnes was accused of causing damage to the reputation of the hotel and of quarreling with staff over not paying a corkage fee for alcohol brought to the hotel. Barnes, who works in Thailand, was arrested by immigration police and returned to Koh Chang, where he was briefly detained and then freed on bail. According to the TripAdvisor review Barnes posted in July, he encountered unfriendly staff who act like they don't want anyone here. So yeah, if you ever want to see like the end result of a lot of this fucking corporate nonsense, this overregulation of the internet, and additionally the complete removal of free speech laws, this is what it is. If you post a bad review because a company gives you a bad service, you go to jail. Fucking ridiculous, eh? Hikaru Utada, I can't freaking pronounce Japanese name. Hikaru Utada, coming out as non-binary, is a huge step forward for the industry. The acclaimed Japanese singer's queer identity is a positive sign for things to come. Now, hasn't she not been relevant in like 20 years? Is it possible that this is like a kick for relevance? I mean, probably not. Probably not, because Japan doesn't do that shit. I mean, no. Hold on. Let me rephrase. Japan does that shit, but not with like non-binary identities. Japan doesn't give a shit about that. There's like almost no social capital to be reaped by coming out as non-binary in Japan. Maybe it's like an overseas thing. Who knows, right? But anyway, this past weekend saw Japanese pop singer Hikaru Utada come out as non-binary, wishing fans and viewers across the internet happy Pride as they dropped a progressive bombshell that has already been rippling across the wider industry. No, she's not relevant anymore. She's not non-binary, she's just saying she's married. Really? Well, I guess we'll look into that. This personal revelation was beautifully understated, with Utada choosing the final few days of Pride Month to share themselves with the world. I'm sick of being asked if I'm Miss or Mrs., or choosing between Miss, Mrs., Ms. for everyday things. It makes me uncomfortable to be identified so markedly by my marital status or sex, and I don't relate to any of these prefixes. Every time I feel like I'm forced to misrepresent myself. I long for an alternative option, one that anybody of any gender or social standing can use. So she has her own chosen prefix, their own chosen prefix, Miss, M-Y-S, which is short for mystery. Miss. Mystery. But apparently she's just married, and that's like she wants to use that as like her married title. Is that what this is? Oh my god! All right. She's done a lot of. Hasn't she done like a fair amount of things? Hold on. Let's see here. See, I thought she was involved in Escaflowne, but maybe not. She was definitely involved in Kingdom Hearts. That was a big deal, Kingdom Hearts. But I actually thought that she was involved in some like 90s anime. Maybe not. Maybe not. That's how these things go. Parrots removed from a UK family safari park after teaching each other to swear and laughing about it. Because they were all quarantined together, it meant that one room was just full of swearing birds. A wildlife park has been forced to remove 5 newly adopted parrots from public display after they started swearing at customers. Oh my god, dude. You just put a bunch of like one bird knows how to swear and laughs at it, and they just teach each other. Okay. Actually, guys, I'm gonna go to the washroom. Give me a quick second, okay? BRB. I'll be quick. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, I put a rush order on that one. So we're talking about parrots being removed after they teach themselves to swear. Okay. A wildlife park has been forced to remove 5 newly adopted parrots from public display after they started swearing at the customers. Bosses in the park said they accepted the new flock of birds on August 15th, and the group taught each other to swear while in quarantine together. The park's chief executive officer said that the naughty antics made the staff laugh, which only encouraged the birds even more. But swift action had to be taken after the parrots began shouting profanities in front of guests and then laughing about it. For the last 25 years, we've always taken in parrots that have sometimes had a bit of blue language, and we've really gotten used to that. Every now and then you'll get one that swears, and it's always funny. We always find it very comical when they do swear at you. But just by coincidence, we took in 5 in the same week, and because they were all quarantined together, and that meant there was one room full of swearing birds. The more they swear, the more you laugh, which then triggers them to swear again. The park chief said they learned to swear and laugh at each other swearing, leading to something akin to an old working men's club scenario. Locker room talk, guys. Within 20 minutes of them being on... Yeah, these are like Trump parrots. Within 20 minutes of them being on display to the public, there were reports of the parrots swearing at a customer. And while visitors saw the funny side, the team were worried because they had a weekend coming up and were expecting lots of young children. Despite wanting to give people some lighthearted relief, a decision was made to put the birds where they couldn't be heard before the children arrived. The parrots were African greys, which are very good at learning vocalizations from all sorts of noises. That's funny, actually. Damn, dude. Best parrots. Best parrots. Anyway, guys, thanks for the donations and stuff on this stream. I do appreciate it. I will be reading all the super chats at the end of the stream, so don't think that you're going unread. It'll come at the end, okay? Let's continue. An unexpected visitor. Wild Canada goose turns up at an animal hospital to await mate in surgery. They both seemed much more at ease in each other's presence. This goose came searching for its mate at the New England Wildlife Center. Aww. After taking in a Canada goose named Arnold for surgery, an animal hospital in Weymouth was greeted Wednesday with an unexpected visitor at the window. As we prepared to sedate Arnold and get him ready for surgery, we heard a faint tapping at the clinic door. We turned to see that his mate had walled up onto the porch and was attempting to break into our clinic. Arnold's mate had somehow located him at the hospital where he was getting treated, and seemed agitated that she could not enter. Through his entire surgery, she remained at the door. After the surgery, hospital staff and placed Arnold by the door with his flow by oxygen to reunite the two. Once together, the mate began grooming through the door. They both seemed much more at ease in each other's presence. The hospital was surprised to greet their first animal visitor, as they are usually accustomed to people asking to visit, which they do not accommodate. In this case, however, they made an exception for the mate. Arnold and his mate are wild geese that live on a pond near the hospital and have been a pair for several years. The hospital took him in Tuesday after staffers noticed that he developed a significant limp and was continuously falling over. He had 2 open fractures on his foot. The surgery included amputating one of the digits and closing the other wound in order to save the foot. Doctors believe this was a result of an attack by a snapping turtle or another kind of predator. The hospital is now observing the recovery. Oh, that's pretty cute, isn't it? There's the duck's just waiting. Oh, that is a feel-good story, isn't it? Man who erected giant wooden penis on his lawn fights to keep it up. Montreal-born Jamie Gagne, charged with displaying offensive sexual material. He lives in Wilton, New York now, even though he was born in Montreal. He pleaded not guilty to displaying offensive sexual material for erecting this 2.1-meter wooden penis carving outside of his home. He insists it was his wife's idea to carve a giant wooden penis with a chainsaw and erect it on their front lawn, but he'll gladly fight for it in court. He crafted the 2.1-meter tall, anatomically correct statue to protest the bureaucratic red tape that was preventing him from getting a permit to complete a shed outside his home. The town stopped communicating with me, so I was getting a little frustrated, and I kind of wanted to draw their attention and kind of brute force a conversation. So then he was arrested for displaying offensive sexual material. He has pleaded not guilty in court on Tuesday and is fighting to have the charges dismissed. He's a woodworker and carpenter by trade, says that he's quite proud of his penis, which he describes as having the proper mushroom curvature on the tip and balls that are properly sack-like. It's my first chainsaw carving, actually. I don't know, it kind of came naturally. That's funny. It's actually really funny. The neighbor that had recently moved was making a lot of complaints, basically reporting every activity I was doing to the town, and he's got a camera set up, pointed at my house. It was getting really irritating, so I pointed the penis directly at his front door to kind of send the message to stop being a jerk. Oh, that's amazing. Former high school student charged for putting Hitler quote in the yearbook. We do a little trolling, guys. We do a little trolling. A former Connecticut high school student is accused of changing entries in his school's yearbook to include a quote from Nazi dictator Adolf Hitler, police said. It is quite a special secret pleasure how the people around us fail to realize what is really happening to them, read one entry allegedly submitted by Holster Tryon, incorrectly attributing Hitler's quote to George Floyd. Change a George Floyd quote to Adolf Hitler. So he was barred from attending graduation at Glastonbury High School for allegedly altering the school's 2021 yearbook, was charged Friday with 2 counts of third-degree computer crimes for accessing a database used by students to alter 2 classmates' entries. Yeah, this guy's pretty based, isn't he? There's some good trolling out there in the world, and people are like, "Oh my God, he's a crypto Nazi! How dare you? He's a fascist! Hitler, literally Hitler!" And it's like, trolling, guys, trolling. Man, imagine when you could like, remember when Nazis were a joke and not like this deathly evil threat, and you could like laugh at them on the internet. All right. Tryon 18 also reportedly inserted a quote in a second student's yearbook entry referencing drugs and Boston bomber Zakolkar Tsarnaev, who was convicted in the April 2013 attack that killed 2 people and wounded more than 360 others. The reworked entries were uncovered in May as distribution of yearbooks began. School administrators later recalled the mementos to remove the offending material and contacted cops. Man, if I were at this school, I would not give back my yearbook. I'd be like, yeah, sorry, I lost it. It's gone. I don't know. I don't have it anymore. I'd keep that. That would be a great memento. We deeply regret not having caught the act of bigotry and vandalism. Well, bigotry, no. Vandalism, yes. Yes, it was a troll. But bigotry, no. We are examining and will revise our yearbook procedures for collecting and reviewing future student submissions. So, I was the yearbook director in my final year of high school, and I made the worst yearbook my school had seen in like 25 years. It was a brutally terrible yearbook, okay? And I trolled the fuck out of it. I included such ridiculous. Okay, there was one guy who he wanted his nickname because his name was Kirby. He wanted his nickname to be Kerbosa Sausage. I managed to slip that in. I had a letter from the editor page, and the border of the page was my giant soy mouth. I opened my mouth as large as I could, dirty like teenage mustache and all. Took a picture of it, cropped out the actual center so it was just like the lips and the stash, and then made that the board, like stretched it out, made it the border of a page, and put like and put my letter in there. I did so much fucking terrible nonsense in that yearbook. It was actually bad. All right, and I got away with it. It was the final day of school, and the principal called me into his office. Okay, and he's like, "Listen, all this stuff, all this, there's a lot of inappropriate stuff in the yearbook." And I'm just like, "Yeah, sorry, I missed it. Like, I guess I'm bad at my job." I was like, "I guess I'm bad at my job. Sorry, I won't do it. I guess I won't be editor next time." Knowing it was my final year and it was the last day of school, I was like, "I guess I won't be editor next time. Sorry." And he's just like, "I could." he tried to like find words, and he was like, "I could get you like maybe you're not gonna graduate." And I just like I like leaned. Okay, I was standing in front of his desk. He was sitting down. I like leaned forward and put my hands in his desk. So I was leaning forward, and I was just like, "I don't care. Suspend me. It's the final day of school. I don't care." And he just let me go. And then that was that. And I left the school. Oh, what a great time. Everyone has those memories of like fucking around when they were teenagers, and the yearbook was my big one. I have a few others, but the yearbook was my big one. Anyway, he's being held on a $5,000 bond, which is fucking ridiculous. But here we go. I mean, maybe it's not so ridiculous because he did have to like break in and like edit something. But like, is it hate speech? Is he a secret Nazi? No, he's a prankster. He's a prankster, and he's gonna get slapped on the wrist for it, and that's how it should be. Man pooed in cup and tried to eat it during police interview. He also spat at officers and staged a dirty protest in his cell after being arrested when he was seen making a nuisance of himself outside of a hair salon. A man defecated into a cup and tried to eat it, a court has heard. James Lane has been arrested after causing a nuisance outside of a hair salon, during which staff and customers have been able to see his exposed genitals. Once in custody, he spat at the officers, smeared feces over his cell and himself, and headbutted a metal toilet before trying to eat his own feces as a curtain call. Jesus Christ. He was clearly intoxicated. He was trying to make a nuisance of himself. The defendant was wearing a loose pair of shorts which were falling down, and part of his genitals were exposed as he attempted to enter the salon. When he was refused entry to the hairdressers, he became irate, and the staff rang the police. Lane was subsequently arrested and taken to the Ammanford police station. He was uncooperative. He refused to walk to his cell. He had to be carried. He spat into the air, spitting at officers. He shit everywhere. He was disgusted by the defendant's actions while the cell Lane defecated. Okay, the court heard that the officer he spat on said he was disgusted by the defendant's actions while the cell Lane defecated in was out of action until it could be deep cleaned by a specialist firm. Yep. The following day, officers tried to interview Lane, but he refused to cooperate and then defecated into a cup and attempted to eat it. No further attempt was made to interview him. Holy fuck. Lane, of no fixed abode, because I guess he's homeless, he pleaded guilty to assaulting an emergency worker and 2 counts of damaging property, the police cell and the police car. He pleaded not guilty to a charge of exposure. The Crown would have difficulty proving not just intent to expose his genitals, given his state, but intent to cause alarm. So this man has 43 previous convictions for 93 offenses, including assault occasioning actual bodily harm, battery, supplying Class A drugs, house burglary, 3 for assaulting police officers, and 44 for theft and other dishonesty matters. He had very little recollection of the events of the day due to his levels of intoxication through drink and drugs. Whenever I see like a crazy drug story like this, I'm always reminded of that video that I posted on Twitter like 4 months ago of the dude who was so high. He was so unbelievably high on drugs. He didn't know that he was on fire. Remember that? Maybe I can like, hold on. Where? Okay, it's not here. All right. You know what I'll do? I'll get a thing. I'll go to the thing. Hold on. Shit. Did I show it last week, maybe? Maybe it's not even worth doing it. Hold on. Did I? Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay. Okay. It's one of the funniest things I've seen. I don't mind showing it again. It's one of the funniest things I've seen. Okay? Here. Everyone listen. Why not? Why shouldn't I show it? Is it bad? Your channel will be cancelled? Is it that bad? It doesn't look that bad. Get your channel canceled. It's time to stop. I mean, I've shown it before. It's not that bad, is it? You know, I think we're good. I think we're good. It's not gory or anything. It's not like ridiculous, so I think you can actually watch it. Let's go, okay?
Good. Hey, are you okay?
You just walking around on fire?
Are you good? Hey.
Okay. Imagine being so high that you're just like casually walking around on fire. No, here's the thing. Okay. It's not snuff. He didn't die. He actually survived this. And actually he wasn't even that hurt. All right? But he's casually on. He's just like, well, it's just a little bit warm, eh? Fine day today, isn't it? Are you good as he's on fire? Yeah. Don't do drugs, guys. Seriously. Don't do drugs, okay? Don't do drugs. Seriously. Like, yeah, this is about as extreme I would show on YouTube. I've seen some crazier shit, like from Poe. Oh shit, he's been suspended. From Poe's Twitter account, he's posted so much crazy shit. Okay, I've seen people like have their legs ripped off, and Jesus Christ, Poe's Twitter account is fucking nuts. Okay, so guys, don't do drugs. Okay, what's this one? What is this? Hold on. I don't want to accidentally. Oh, no, we're good. Okay, never mind. Okay. I've been depressed and suicidal because of my mom's OnlyFans. I'm 13 and my mom is 33. Things at school were never great. I'm sort of short, so I get picked on some, but it was manageable. That was until one of my classmates showed me a picture of my mom naked. I almost had a panic attack and had to be excused from the classroom. I ended up not showing up to school for a few days, faking sick. I was hoping that things would cool off, but they didn't. As soon as I got to school, almost everyone in my class was staring and laughing at me. This has been going on for about a week now. I was wondering how my classmates even got the pictures, and apparently my mom advertises her OnlyFans on her personal Twitter account. Some students from my school follow her, so they were able to see the nudes, and they have been spread everywhere. I don't even have a Twitter, so I don't know anything about this. The worst part is, when I confronted my mom about this, she told me that I was overreacting and that sex work is basically the same as working at a bank or a grocery store. She also said it makes her feel good about herself and that I should be happy that she's more confident now. I told the principal, but they can't suspend thousands of students or take anyone's phones. I've been crying every in my room every day for the past week. I don't think I can take it anymore. This is actually a really sad story, guys. It's kind of ridiculous. This is really sad. However, people looked into this guy's account, and like in other threads, he talks about like not having a father, like his dad died or something, and it's like, Jesus. I don't think it's fake. I think it's true. Man, I saw this is a video that I'm not going to show, by the way. I saw a video of like a white woman hanging out with a bunch of black guys, and they're all asking how she makes money, and she's like, I make, don't worry about it, man. I make money. And these guys had all just gangbanged her, and the black guys are filming this video. It's like post gangbang, so you can't see anything. And the black guys run into the other room, and there's like these two young boys who are just sitting there like trying to ignore what the fuck just happened because they could hear it, and they start like laughing at them, saying that they just fucked their mom, and then the mother goes in and just tells them to go back to sleep. Doesn't say a single thing to the guy she just fucked, who just like tortured her fucking sons, but says, okay, kids, go back to sleep. It's like the middle of the afternoon. Go back to sleep, kids. There is, man, I hate to fucking sound like an incel, and I hate to give those people some kind of fucking credence here, but holy shit, there is a type of woman out there who does not give a shit about her kids and just wants to get railed. Like, holy fuck. Oh my god. Not a woman, obviously. I know many great women. Most women in my family are great. Naomi's great. Dom's great. I have a lot of great women friends, but there is some type. There's like a subtype of woman that does not actively abuse their kids physically, doesn't rape them or anything, but will just straight up humiliate them and treat them like shit in the name of her own gratification and her own empowerment. And it's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. Christ. All right. The Netherlands gets ready for child euthanasia. The Netherlands is about to expand its euthanasia law to allow children ages 1 to 12 to be killed by doctors. Terminally ill children between the ages of 1 and 12 will likely be granted access to euthanasia. End-of-life procedures carried out by doctors in the Netherlands were already possible for infants up to 1 year old and for children above 12 years old. Okay. So, there's no reason to think that the terminally ill limitation will last, much less be enforced. This seems tinfoil to me, all right? This actually seems tinfoil. This site has a very obvious political bias. They say outright, Dutch death doctors always use the gray area to excuse to expand the cast of the killable. Once death is in the driver's seat and never hits the brakes. That is a bit much to me, all right? There is no reason to assume that just because somebody who has a terminal illness wants to die and can now legally be killed, there's no reason to assume that will like snowball into just killing people randomly, all right? Like there's a big gap, I think, in between those two concepts. But yeah, like children who are already subjected to terminal sedation, that is being put in an artificial coma and dehydrated to death. For the children referenced in the new policy, doctors are only allowed to give a palliative care like sedation or withhold nutrition over an extended period of time until the patient dies. So, man, I'm definitely of two minds about this because, like, there are people who are just suffering and there's no way they're getting better. And they Like they're like, please just kill me. You should be able to do that. I think you should be able to do that. All right, 100%. I think you should be able to do that. But I think it would be absolutely morally reprehensible if we reach the point where a patient is saying, "No, I want to try to survive. I don't care if I don't care if the odds are near zero. I want to grasp onto life for every last second that I can." And a doctor is like, "No, we're killing you now." That would be morally reprehensible. All right. And this person is definitely fear mongering about that, but there's like a kernel of truth inside of it, you know. Let's continue. Oh yeah. Okay. I love this account. Shaniqua posting delusions. It's a hilarious Twitter account. Black Lives Matter. You got, they killed a black woman for driving too close to the White House. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they did, dude. I'm sure they did. All right. Just the Olympics rely on but don't support black girl magic. This is a hilarious account. I'm gonna have to like go through this account at some point, like in more detail. But they posted this video. This is a real phone game you can play. Okay, check it out. You play as a black woman who's doing an obstacle course. Okay, you grab watermelons. Donuts make you fatter. Okay, and being fat means you can break through glass. Watermelon. Oh shit! Too much audio. Sorry about that. Didn't notice it was playing audio. Look at her dance, dude. Yeah. So, watermelons make you thin, and while you're thin, you can jump and do athletic feats. Donuts make you fat, and while you're fat, you can break through glass. So you have to like alternate between thin and fat states to beat the level. Oh yeah, baby. The game is called Fat to Fit. Fucking hell. Everyone get this game, I guess. Woman wore... this is still making noise. Shut up. Woman wore fake baby bump to trick man into thinking she was pregnant. Damn, dude. A woman allegedly used a prosthetic baby bump to trick a man's family into believing she was pregnant. Sent the man abusive messages and procured money from him. A court heard that Jacqueline McGowan sent Jamie Atkin a photo of a cot and demanded $300 for it. She told him repeatedly that she was having miscarriages and sent him messages saying she would never be a part of the baby's life. He would never be a part of the baby's life. She even contacted his mum with fake scan photos accusing her son of refusing to attend appointments or support her while pregnant. She is said to have told Mr. Aitken's family she was having his son on March 28th and had named him Noah. She showed up at his brother's workplace to tell him he could be involved in the baby's life while wearing a prosthetic baby bump. Holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck. Just 100% faking it, eh? Man pinned under ATV for 2 days survives on beer. He's lucky the drinks landed within reach of his arm. It was scary as hell, apparently. Damn, dude. Oh, no, I have to register, continue reading. Ah, fuck it. We got the joke, though. A Wyoming farmer who was trapped under an ATV for 2 days survived on beer and bottled water. Frank Reynolds, 53, was trying to round up a cow and a calf on a neighbor's property outside of Gillette in the northeastern part of the state when the ATV tipped over and ended up on top of him on Sunday. So, imagine this. Imagine. You're lying there. You're pinned underneath your ATV. You can't move it. You're fucked. But you got a 2-4 right beside you. Just start drinking. Just start drinking. Thanks for the super chat, Lord Tennyson's pipe. I'm reading all the super chats at the end, guys, so don't worry. I'm not skipping them. Woman shouts, "I still love sharks" after being attacked by one. Oh, we gotta listen to this. We gotta listen to this shit. She's tough as Jaws. A shark documentary filmmaker was bitten by one of the predators in Australia, but professed to the reporters, "I still love sharks," as she was taken away to the hospital on a stretcher for her injuries. I still love sharks. Sharks are beautiful. A smiling Annika Craney shouted as she was wheeled into Cairns Hospital in Queensland following the attack. She was gnawed on her lower left leg by a shark while swimming off the coast of Fitzroy Island. There were doctors on the scene and provided first aid. She ended up with a possible fracture of the left lower ankle and some lacerations from the shark bite. She was relaxing and swimming on the island. She was doing a shark documentary, but this was her day off. Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. A burning issue. How Japanese is Naomi Osaka? So here's Japanese-born tennis player Naomi Osaka after lighting the Olympic cauldron. She's mixed race, right? And now there's the claim, at least among some progressives, that a not pure Japanese woman should not be the person to light the torch at the Japanese Olympics. Because progressives always fall back on the one drop rule. Osaka was born at Chuko, Osaka, in 1997. Her mother, Tamaki, is Japanese. Her father, Leonard, is Haitian. Osaka was 3 years of age when the family moved to the U.S. to live at Long Island, New York. Osaka has been there ever since. If these were state of origin eligibility rules, she would be wearing a U.S. jersey at these games. Leonard pushed his daughter into tennis in an unashamed attempt to do what Richard Williams had done for his daughters, Serena and Venus, turn her into a superstar. The blueprint was already there, I just had to follow it. And he did with incredible success. He's literally done a Richard Williams, moving the family to Florida when Naomi was 8 to access elite academies. Osaka has become the world number 1. She's won 4 majors. She's the richest female athlete in the world. But if she's living the dream, she's living the American dream. Yet she competes on the WA Tour under the Japanese flag. Yes, of course, she's proud of her Japanese heritage. Perhaps she feels Japanese down to her bootstraps, but she carries dual passports and describes herself more as a citizen of the world. I don't sense a deep connection to her from the Japanese public. She's a multicultural, multiracial Japanese, Haitian, American woman with a wonderful mix of bloodlines in her veins. So, this is the thing, all right? If you're not this multicultural citizen of the world living in the United States, you're a racist. But to be truly Japanese, you have to not be this thing. Like, there's a clear double standard here, right? Nobody views people who are part of some kind of proud ethnic foreign culture as being racist or exclusionary. But only if you do it here. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. And also, if we're gonna do like a race thing here, who are you, Will Swanton, to talk about this fucking issue? Your fucking whiteness shines off the top of your fucking head, dude. Like, what is this? What is this, dude? Shut up! I'm not gonna fucking tweet that. No, I wanna find like his actual Twitter account. Here it is. Okay. Oh, his Twitter account's gone. Fuck you, buddy. Anyway, nonsense article, basically just race baiting bullshit. Fuck off. Rabbit hole in farmer's field leads to mystery caves. Look at this. An apparently ordinary rabbit's hole in a farmer's field leads to an underground sanctuary said to have been used by devotees of a medieval religious order. The caves were used by followers of the Knights Templar in the 17th century. Even though they're less than a meter underground, they're untouched structurally. Historic England describes the caves as a grotto. They believe they were probably built in the late 18th or early 19th century. Holy fuck. So, rabbit hole, farmer field, fall through them accidentally, find ancient cave. Dude. Based. That's cool, man. I'll show you how deep this rabbit hole goes. The war on woke is a war on decency. I, too, have been struggling to understand the word woke, but one word used by Nesrin Malik has now nailed it for me. Decency. Wokeness is decency. The war on woke is a war on decency. So ridiculous, all right? It's actually the inverse, all right? Whenever people make, like, no kink at pride arguments, they are arguing from a point of decency. Now, you might disagree with their perspective on decency. Fair enough. Or you might not give a shit about decency. But to claim that, like, active public degeneracy is the decent option, it's so fucking ridiculous. It's amazingly, like, mind-bendingly stupid. Okay? The war on woke is a war on decency, and a useful contribution to the war effort would be to surely call it out as such in every opportunity. So I think this article is actually just letters sent to the Guardian. I guess this is all the fan mail they get, is like these 6 letters, and these aren't worth talking about. But this is crazy. This is crazy. Let's check out Nesrin Malik's. Yeah, the right is winning the culture war because its opponents don't know the rules. And let's look for decency, okay? Yeah. So basically, the idea here is that there's absolutely this redefinition of. It's strange. It's strange. Okay, so if you were to talk to a progressive about moral foundations theory, okay. Actually, we're done with the screens. I'll just take it away. Okay. If you were to talk with a progressive about moral foundations theory, and tell them, like, okay, well, a conservative might actually value sanctity and degradation over care and harm, they will say, well, you know what? That's stupid because sanctity and degradation isn't a real thing, while care and harm is a physical, real world thing. And you can go back and forth about whether or not you should value the moral foundations that you value. But if that's the case, if that is the case, if they truly believe this, if they truly believed that the concept of sanctity isn't real, that the concept of, say, honor isn't real, everything is truly material, then they wouldn't be trying to co-opt these words. They wouldn't be trying to say, oh, we are actually the decent ones. Oh, we are actually the honorable ones. They would simply focus on the material. But they know that that's just fucking nonsense. That's just fucking nonsense. That humanity absolutely has a non-material component. Or at the very least, we are better off if we believe that we do. We behave better if we believe that we do. Fucking nuts, dude. Fucking nuts. So, that does seem to be the end of the stream today, guys, of all the news articles that I have for you. If you want to join the $5 club, it costs $5. A $5 recurring donation at any of those sources. If you want to get in the $5 club for life, $100 US through PayPal, send me or one of my mods a receipt, and we will figure it out. If you want me to open your packages, your nonsense on the stream, all your garbage, send it to me in a box, send it to the PO box. I'll open it up on the stream. And I will get into the super chats in a minute. But thank you very much for the super chats, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll read them all now. But a quick rundown of what's going on. Today at 3 p.m., in about 3 hours now, there will be the Skaven RP on Arch's channel. All 3 of us here are sick, but I think we will be well enough to do Game Boomers again tomorrow. I don't know when Dave's coming back to it. I don't know when Dave's coming back to it, but we will be well enough to do Game Boomers eventually, okay? I plan to come back to Game Boomers tomorrow, though. We have a Minecraft server. Please consider checking that out. All the information for the Minecraft server is in the Discord. I'll be talking to Destiny at some point. I don't know when. I have no idea. Shit, what else is happening? Oh, yes. Working on a new video for tomorrow. That's right. Okay. Let me find the super chats. Oh, yes. And of course, yes. Please drop by the Skaven stream and the gaming streams tomorrow, guys. Please consider supporting me wherever I am, if you don't mind. Especially because the gaming stream is what Dave lives on now. So now that Dave has lost the old job, the gaming stream is what keeps him going. Here we go. Supers. Super chats. Here we are. Chris Nemo for $2. One drop of coffee rule. Haha. Thank you. Lord Tenson's Pipe for $2. Why are women like this? I don't fucking know, dude. I wish I knew. Lord Dr. Odoroki for $5. So dehydrating to death is basically the modern gas chamber. Yeah, I think that's how they use it. They sedate you and then just wait. Boris the Sheep for $5. Hey Dev, this is a Shiro Drake. Send me a DM so you can actually get daily premonition done. If not, you can also do Ghost of Tsushima. DM me, dude. DM me, like send your DM back to the top of my DM list. We'll figure it out, okay? Thank you though. Also, why'd you change your name? Change it from Chowder, $2. Bird up. Thank you. Miles Brown for $5. Dev is officially Ferris Bueller. I wasn't that bad. I was not as bad as Ferris Bueller, dude. Ian for $5. Bam is one of the few examples I've had to see in my life that had me scale back from party jokes considerably, aside from other personal examples. Yeah, dude. I people always look at me funny when I tell them I don't drink, and I haven't drunk for like 10 years. No, I don't drink. Period. None. Zero. Bring my bed for $10. Thank you. Regarding the Vox take on crime, one issue is that people who are disarmed are in the cities and easy prey for criminals. Gun control was originally intended to keep blacks helpless. I could see that, actually. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Annabelle Reaper for $5. Thank you. I remember back in the good old days when Spencer got punched, you, Sargon, and V all warned us this passion up you walked. Surprise. Yeah, exactly. I'll be referencing that. In tomorrow's video, yes. Jesus. The Real Holtzinator for $5. Hi, Dev. You gonna be there for the RP? Hope you, Naomi, and Dave feel better. Yes, I will. Dave is not feeling better, but I have like a slightly sore throat. Naomi's doing like kind of okay, but I'm feeling better. Thank you. Doomslayer121 for $5. When you change the definition of a crime so hard that the murder goes up. Yeah, fuck. I don't think that problem's a definitional one this time, but I get the joke. Yeah. Annabelle Reaper for $5. All comedy downfalls have been during the U.S.'s time, partially due to U.S. influence. No other country on earth is as free as the USA. What happens with the U.S.? We're fucked, at least for a while. Matapasser for $5. I want my porn organic and free range. Diva the Consumer 2021. Based yes. Give me a giant farm with all sorts of animal girls running around. You get your cat girls, your dog girls, your cow girls. They can all run around and be free range. I'm okay with this. Doomqueer, $5. Hentai over porn, since you don't have to worry about real people being exploited. That hentai can be more of art form while regular porn is cliche. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. That's why you can do like a lot of stuff in hentai you can't do in. You can do lots of an anime you can't do in regular TV, because animation just allows for more unrealistic things to happen. Generic for $2. Fun fact: lesbian porn passes the Bechdel test. Yes, it does. That's just a stupid test, dude. It's so fucking dumb. Ruckus for $10. So the UK is about to roll out a voluntary program for people to get perks and discounts for losing weight. All right, let's see if we can push those pounds down, you Nihongophile. I am slowly getting there. All right, I did a hardcore work. You know what I did? I got fed up, and like 2 days ago, by the way, on the day that I started to get sick, so this didn't help. But 2 days ago, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do one of my high school workouts. I did the lifting, I did the running, and yesterday I was like, oh my god, I was so destroyed. But I feel like I can probably just force myself to do those once every 2 or 3 days and just get back on the saddle, you know. Annabelle Reaper again. Thank you very much, Annabelle, for another $5. As a fellow Canadian, I'm from Alberta. Do you think this country has any hope of escaping from the woke commies? I've been steadily losing hope. It's gonna be a long fight, to be honest. It's gonna be a long fight here. Because there's like blind trust in institutions, even as they get subverted sometimes. It's kind of, I don't know about that. Matapasser for $5. Fap to the BBC, you bigot. Doomslayer121 for $5. What's so funny, butthead? You find it amusing we'll be talking about the body standards? Thanks, everybody. Mr. George Matthew for $20. Thank you very much. Social fascism is not dumb, it's disingenuous. Revolutions don't happen in stable and happy societies. They want to cultivate social instability and alienation. Maybe with some hunger and desperation, or they give it a kick. Yeah, it's funny. Like, you have a lot of... Maybe people are just idiots, but you have a lot of people who are like... So SocDem progresses on to socialism. Like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, actually. Social democracy is a bulwark against socialism, in fact. Doomslayer121 for $5. Sup, Dev, what's the scoop? Well... You just heard the scoop for like 2 hours. Hope you enjoyed it. Stug for $5. Maybe if you're seeing fascism everywhere, it's because you're bringing it with you. Yeah, yeah. I am definitely absolutely of the opinion that, like, especially like I bullied Sargon into reading that Zeev Sternhell book. I've read other books now. Fascism is like anti-Marxist socialism, and so many terminally online dumbfuck lefties are like, you can't have anti-Marxist socialism. Yes, you can. Marx did not invent socialism. He is not the beginning of socialism. He is not the end of socialism. He is not the creator of the theory. Marxism is a specific school of thought within the broader socialist tradition. Fascism is a specific school of thought within the broader socialist tradition. The Marxist versus fascist fights, of which we have seen many of them, that is not two ideological extremes fighting like an eternal war over civilization. That is a civil war within the socialist tradition. Argo for $5. I can show you how to get a URL that changes according to your IP from the Minecraft server. I didn't see your Discord message, but yes, I am very interested. Thank you. Silva Camaro 78 for $10. Realize that Scott Pilgrim versus the World ruined an entire generation of women. Describe shoe on head now. Bright dyed hair, obnoxious clothes, things like communism is the way to go. 30 but acts like she's 16. Oh my god, guys. That's mean. I don't want to talk about shoe, okay? I'll laugh at it and I'll say it's mean, and that's it. Thank you for the donation though. Stigma of the Rose for $5. Please release a version of your tub videos without the water sounds. It's literally unwatchable for me. Well, there's always going to be water sounds in the video because I want the aesthetic. However, I am considering doing like an iTunes MP3 or something. Like I'll figure something out. Some kind of audio only that'll just be the audio, yeah. Silver Camaro 78 for $5. I dare Shoe on Head to go down to Miami and tell a Cuban or Venezuelan that socialism is based. She won't look so pretty after that. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, yeah, like, oh, obviously people from Central America don't actually like socialism because they've lived it. But damn, dude, Jesus. Silver Camaro for $2. Heavy Object has an anime girl drinking stuff. Does it? What's Heavy Object? Like another anime, maybe? Okay. Mr. Twisted Frenzy, €5. Money for Dev. Thank you very much. Silver Camaro, $5 again. Thank you. I have a foreign policy compromise. Stop far-off conflicts and use the newly freed-up Air Force to give commies free helicopter rides. Hop on, Shoe on Head. What is it? You're like you have like this like specific hard on for Shoe, eh, dude? Damn. Brick Muppet for $2. I'm all out of moments. Here's $2. Thank you very much. Blood on the Blade for $5. The Great Reset must be stopped at all costs by any means necessary. World War III is inevitable, and the corporations and governments must pay the price. I'm not quite so doomer as you are about it. But yeah, we're in a bit of a bad state. But I actually think things will get better. You know, everyone who is like ultimate doomer right now, I think they are actually just forgetting how incompetent government actually is. And that seems to be all the super chats, guys. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for all of the support. I really appreciate it. Drop by the channel, Arch's channel this afternoon in about 3 hours' time. We're doing the Skaven RP. Drop by this channel tomorrow for a new SFO video. And as always, twitch.tv/GameBoomers. Please consider supporting the gaming channel. We stream there most nights. It's going to be it's going to be fun. The current games we're playing are Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. We actually do cosplay for that one. We're playing Mass Effect 3. We're playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. We're playing Subnautica. It is a variety channel where I hang out with the chat and take questions sometimes, but generally just have a good time. And it's more of a comedy show than a politics show. So if you want to see a different side of me, that's what's going on. Yeah, I'm probably not streaming Game Boomers tonight, because I'm doing this stream, I'm doing the RP, taking a bit of time off. Okay. I will see you next time, guys. Oh, hold on. A final $5 right at the end from Wolfsbane for $5. Response to Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It wasn't that the movie or books ruined them. It was the hijacking of the look by crazies. Yeah, kinda, but there was always some kind of crazies in there, you know? There was always some kind of crazies in there. Okay, though. It's time to go. Thanks very much for the support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spreading the stream around. Thank you for donating. Thank you for being here. And I will see you next time. Have a good one. I love you.